This one is the President Kali Pav Bhaji. Let's start cooking. Hey guys, welcome to the President Kitchen. This is the President Kitchen today because we're going to be cooking some fantastic dishes using my favorite butter, which is called President. A legendary butter from France, which is now available here, both in the salted and unsalted version. Now this butter is very special because first things first is that it is made with the top most quality milk available in this country. It has various techniques in which it's made, like, it is a bit technical. It's called the Nizo technology. It's got absolutely no oil, and this makes the best butter for sauteing, frying, and for baking and lamination. It's absolutely the best. Now, I being a chef who loves exploring India and the world, I'm going to be using this President butter to make my favorite street food, which is the Pav Bhaji, which comes from Maharashtra. Now, why is it called a Kali Pav Bhaji? Kali Pav Bhaji is made with Kala Masala. Now, Kala Masala actually comes from Maharashtra, which is actually used a lot with meat and seafood along with vegetables. Now, here we've got these amazing spices which makes a very robust, very aromatic, and believe me, this Pav Bhaji is a complete winner. So I've got a little bit of dried coconut, which is copra, which I'm going to be first slicing some of it, which we're going to be using it for toasting as well. And the rest I'm going to be charring it on an open flame so that it gets this really nice, beautiful color. So we've got our copra which is sliced in here. Along with that, let's add some spices. So for this I have a nice tablespoon of coriander seeds, 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds, 1 big teaspoon and a half of cumin seeds, 1 teaspoon of black peppercorns, a little more than that, and I've got about 8 or 9 cloves to begin with. Along with this, I have a few bay leaves which are going in here, okay, a couple of bay leaves here, and then I have star anise, okay, 2 or 3 of them, along with some cinnamon sticks, about, I would say, 5 to 7 grams of cinnamon. I've got some elaichi, which is cardamom, and I also have some black cardamom, okay. Our sliced copra, okay, and now we're going to be slowly roasting this in this lovely cast iron pan in which I'm going to be actually making my bhaji as well. So the whole flavor of the pan starts, the whole flavor of this dish actually starts in this pan, okay. So we're going to be toasting these really nicely, and as you can see, the spices are going to be getting a little dark. The coconut is going to get a little caramelized, which is going to give this an amazing effect. Next, I'm going to be adding something which is called dagad fool, okay, or it is called stone flour, which is a very integral part of this recipe. So Pav Bhaji is one of those street foods which has a lot of history behind it. Now, Pav and Bhaji, which means vegetable and bread. Now, that was the meal for all factory workers who came to Bombay to make a livelihood. Now, obviously, they did not have time to cook. They all left their families behind. They came here to work and did not find any time. So literally, all the bhajis, whichever vegetables which were available, were really cooked very nicely with spices and tomatoes and served along with pav, which is our traditional Indian bread from Maharashtra. Okay, we're going to be caramelizing them really well to make our pav bhaji absolutely unique. So our kala masala is actually ready to be ground now. So what I'm going to be doing, literally, I'm just going to be cooling it down absolutely, and then we're going to be grinding this in a mixture. You could use a mortar and pestle if you wish, but you know what? It's an age of technology. I don't think there's anything wrong using a machine now to make this lovely, amazing masala. So we've finally cooled down our masala, and we're just going to be grinding this here. Oh yeah. So you could see that's the reason why this is called Kala Masala. Okay, it's got a very nice, beautiful flavor to it. Absolutely aromatic, very robust. It's got these magical spices. So I think this is the ideal spice to literally make meat, fish, poultry. Now when we are looking at modern cuisine, we are looking at fusion cuisine. Now if I had to use this in another application, I could easily make a beautiful Kala Masala President butter. So literally, if you want to make a black spice or Kala Masala butter with President, all you need to do is take President butter, salted or unsalted, the choice is yours. Bring it to room temperature, and along with that, add a little bit of lemon juice, 1 big spoon of this black masala, emulsify it, set it in the fridge. And whenever you are sauteing some vegetables or you want to cook some chicken, you can do a beautiful Kala Masala butter spiced anything. Okay, so there we go. Creativity doesn't stop in this president's kitchen as we are talking about. Now let's hit the pav bhaji. Now let's get with the real business, guys. So I'm going to be using this fantastic president butter. I'm using the salted variety in this. Now when I'm cooking a lot of western food or I'm making something like a makhani dal or a butter chicken, I like to use a combination of the salted and the unsalted butter. You know, with president butter I don't really have to worry because the flavor is just outstanding. So now literally I'm going to be starting off with literally I would say about 40 to 50 grams of butter just in the beginning. Look at it, how beautifully it's forming. So we're going to be adding about 2 tablespoons of finely chopped onions in this recipe. So we're going to be smothering these onions in this lovely butter. Next, we're going to be adding a tablespoon of chopped ginger, a tablespoon of chopped garlic. Okay, so we're going to be adding garlic and ginger in this recipe. So some chopped chilies here into nice chunks. Okay, beautiful. So we've got these lovely sauteed vegetables here. Next, I'm going to be adding about 1 medium-sized capsicum in this here. Well, you can use a yellow or a red, but you know, ideally we only use green bell peppers in a pav bhaji. Some tomatoes. So along with our tomatoes, we have about a medium-sized carrot which I'm adding in here as well, along with some cauliflower. Okay, this is definitely optional, but I'll tell you, this is the best way to use seasonal vegetables. It is also a great way, rather than adding just potatoes in your pav bhaji, I think adding various kinds of vegetables gives it a very nice taste and definitely builds a lot of nutrition, don't you think so? So along with this, we're going to be adding a little bit of red chili powder to this. I'm going to be adding a touch of garam masala. Beautiful. I'm going to be cooking this down. Now at this point, what I would like to do is I would like to add just another 50 grams of butter in here. Now the whole technique, if you go to see of a pav bhaji, it's all about emulsification. Okay, so we're going to be adding our butter into this. Okay, now this butter is going to melt. It's going to start lovely coating all our vegetables. Look how beautifully this is really nicely emulsifying in this. And you can see we are building up this literally gorgeous pav bhaji as yet. Wow, look at that. Delicious. Next, we're going to be adding about a cup of green peas in this. Okay, and we're going to be giving it a nice mix. Now once these vegetables have started to saute, they're starting to give their lovely juices out. Next we're going to take about, I would say about 4 medium-sized potatoes. Yeah, so literally we are cooking for literally 4 portions here today. Yeah, so we're going to be adding our 4 to 5 small to medium-sized potatoes here. Perfect. So now we're going to be lightly mashing this along with the masher. Before that, I'm going to be adding a little bit of tomato juice, which I like to add about half a cup of tomato juice. And then finally, about 3 to 4 tablespoons of this lovely kala masala. Okay? Nice. So we're going to give this a nice mix. Now you can see this is getting a fantastic, a very dramatic, yet really flavorful hue onto your pav bhaji. Next, we're going to be adding about a cup of water. Fantastic. And along with that, I'm going to be adding another 50 grams of President salted butter in here. Okay. Break it into nice pieces. Okay. So we're going to give this a nice mash up now, right now. Along with it, we're going to be adjusting the seasoning once we are done with the mashing. So as you know, as the pav bhaji, a traditional way is that the vegetables are pre-cooked in advance, and along with this big tawa or griddle, that's when the whole tuck and the mashing happens. Okay. So now when you're at home, you have these kind of limitations, but literally I'm exactly doing what they do on the streets. They use a masher, and then I'm going to be literally chopping these up with a little spatula. Now at this point, definitely I'd like to add some salt to taste into this, and I'm going to be adding a little bit of chaat masala as well. Okay, beautiful. And finally, not finally, but maybe one more time, I'm going to be adding another 50 grams of my President salted butter in this to almost finish our pav bhaji. Iske saath we're going to be doing some lovely buttered paos as well. President butter just with bread and a nice cup of chai. Wow, life is good. Kali pav bhaji ready. Abhi pav to banta hi hai. And pav maska, I could just eat this President butter, pav and chai. Yani ke my favorite chai pav. So we're going to be nicely warming up. The pav with the pav bhaji is again a preference. Some people like it crispy, some people like it lots of butter, they like it soft. Well, I like to follow the middle path. I like a little bit of color on my pav, and as long as I have a really good butter like President right here in my pan, more is much better than less. And now it's time to plate up our bhaji. Oh, nice. Look at that, bro. Wow. Now look at that amazing flavor. Yeah. The butter makes a huge difference. You know, the whole game is that the pav bhaji needs to be cooked really well. Of course, the cooking of the spices is very important, but what really makes or breaks the pav bhaji is the cooking of the masalas and the butter. Now, the masalas are cooked beautifully, and with the butter, I'm top of my game because I'm using President salted fantastic French butter, and there's nothing better than that. Yes. Wow. Oh yes. Amazing. When the iconic street food of Mumbai meets the iconic butter from France, this is exactly what you get. Delicious. Mumbai's most iconic dish, the Kali Pav Bhaji, along with the most iconic butter of France, is here, right here in the President Kitchen. Enjoy the Kali Pav Bhaji, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and definitely get President butter in your kitchen. It is just delicious.